Hello and welcome back to the Daily Healing. This is Britt Michaelian, the Frequency Master Artist. I'm so glad that you are listening to this episode. This is season 4 of the Daily Healing, and this is episode 2. And in this episode, we are going to be discussing frequency mastery for heart and soul centered clarity. Now, what does that mean? So the reason that we are exploring frequency mastery in this season is because how the energetics in your body, your emotions affects your physical body and just your experience of life is so profound that I wanted to just have all of my listeners be able to tune into your heart, which is where the voice of your soul speaks. And so in this episode, we're going to be exploring a little activation so that you can really tune into your heart. In the first episode of this season, I gave you a really powerful kind of exhale and activation, and today we're going to go deeper. We're using frequency mastery specifically for the heart and soul so that you can get a crystal clear knowing that comes from not overthinking and not tuning into the external noise, but from that quiet wisdom of your heart and the guidance of your soul. As a healer, I've learned that true clarity rarely arrives through the mind alone. It arrives when we clear the static of those lower frequencies so our heart can be felt and so that our soul can speak. And recently I faced a situation where my mind was spinning with fear and what ifs. I'm not going to go into details about what that circumstance was. I've kind of been dealing with some things in my family, and as we all have, I feel like right now with what's been going on in the world, it's everybody's really being faced with their kind of things that they've been avoiding. And so it's really great to be able to move through that, but it's not exactly the easiest experience. So anyway, at this point, while I had my mind going with the what ifs, instead of staying in that loop, I dropped into my heart and I asked my soul what it wanted me to know. And in that moment, I got a just very clear answer. And it just, a wave of peace just washed over me. And it felt like it was too simple, because really in that moment, all of my what ifs just dissolved. And, we don't think that that's something that can just disappear in a moment. In fact, this morning I had a situation where I was flooded with anger. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to honor this feeling. I'm noticing that I'm angry and I'm going to feel it in my body. And I'm just going to take a couple deep breaths, and then I'm going to exhale and I'm going to let it go. And I visualized it leaving my body and, going down through the soles of my feet into the core of the earth and being transmuted into love. And in that moment, I exhaled and I really did feel that the anger had left my body. And so sometimes it really is just simply witnessing that in our mind's eye that can really have a huge impact on our frequency. And so it's just really crucial to be aware of the emotions that you're feeling so that you can have a higher frequency, so that you can be moving through your life and affecting the world in a positive way. Healing really is like the peeling of an onion. Each layer every time we clear a layer, it brings us closer to the truth of who we are. And it really does allow us to focus on what we want to create in this lifetime. And those tough spots that we all face, they're not failures. They're invitations to go deeper and receive more clarity. And I feel like as we get older, this becomes sometimes easier for us because we know that we've sort of been kind of playing games with the truth for a long time and avoiding and distracting ourselves from feeling the feelings. And then as you get older, you're like, okay, I know that I need to actually face this feeling. And so we're more willing to do the work. And I think if we can model this for younger generations, whether that's your children or grandchildren or just younger people around you, I think it's a really positive way to affect people around us, both through the frequency work as you raise your frequency and also talking about allowing emotions to move through you. So in this episode, we're going to explore exactly how frequency mastery creates that heart and center clarity, soul-centered clarity. And I'm guiding you through a brand new practice you can use right now. By the end of this episode, you're going to have a second frequency mastery tool, and you'll feel noticeably clearer and more aligned. And if you can, when we do this activation, make sure you're in a place where you can be fully present. Just pause the episode if you need to drive, or if you're watching kids, or you can't do something where you're fully present, so that when you do this exercise, you can be fully present and receive all the benefits. So in the last episode, we explored the 3 pillars of frequency mastery: awareness, activation, and integration. And today we're going to apply them directly to clarity. Heart and soul-centered clarity. I keep forgetting the soul part. Heart and soul-centered clarity is the embodied, peaceful knowing that arises when your frequency is high enough for your heart to open and your soul to guide. I'm going to say that again. Heart and soul-centered clarity is the embodied, peaceful knowing that arises when your frequency is high enough for your heart to open and your soul to guide. It feels like a yes in your body, a quiet inner voice, or a sudden sense of, okay, this is the way, this is what I need to do. And it's very different from mental clarity. So, our mind, I don't even think it's, our mind, when we're thinking in our mind and we have mind chatter, it's very hard to have clarity. And I feel like the way that everything is in the world right now, with social media and politics and the news and all of the things that we've been through in the last several years, really since 2001, as a collective on the earth, there's been a lot of chatter, whether in the foreground or the background of your mind. And so having clarity has been really difficult for a lot of people. And I find that this simple transition from the thinking mind to the heart center is the key to having clarity, because it doesn't have to do with thinking your way out of anything. It has to do with dropping into your heart and feeling into that space. And the answers are there. When we're running lower frequencies like fear and doubt and people pleasing and old trauma energy, that's where the static happens. That's where the monkey mind really gets very active. Whereas the heart is closed, and it's not closed. It's not closed off from those things, but it's not concerned with fear. Your heart center is where you can look at every person around you and you can sense a loving presence about them, no matter what they're doing or saying. You can connect with them because of that oneness of all of our energy. And you can see that we're all reflections of different aspects of the self. I'm getting a little deep here for a quick episode, but I just want to, kind of emphasize that when you're operating from your heart, the more you can do that throughout the day, the higher your frequency will be, and the more your soul will be connected with your presence in your daily life. When you're distracted by lower frequency, by fear, you're not going to be operating from your soul. You're going to be operating from your mind. And so it's just a different way of being. So my mission is simple. My goal is to help you raise your frequency so we can all raise the frequency of the collective. One daily practice, one painting, one clear, aligned decision at a time. And so today we're going to help you do that. So we're going to do, 60 to 90 second heart and soul clarity anchor that you can do every morning to set the tone for your day, before you have any important decisions or meetings, or before you need to make any choices. This will give you a way to tap inward. And it's also a great thing to do at the end of your day when you are, kind of looking back at what you're thinking before you go to sleep, just to give you a place where you can be in peace. And you can think about the things that you're grateful for. So gratitude. So I am going to use a piece of art called I Am Wise, Loving Awareness is My Guide. And I'd invite you to, if you can, look at this artwork in the show notes, there will be a link to this piece of artwork. So before we do this activation, if you are not somewhere where you can look at something, that's fine. You can just still listen to the activation and it'll work for you as well. But when you tune into the visual aspect, and if you can look at it, you can take a screenshot of it and just look back at it every day as you do this practice. It can help serve as an anchor to the energy that you're trying to cultivate. So these tools pair beautifully, the activation that we're going to do and the artwork, with the 7 daily healing practices that you'll find in my upcoming book. Grounding, inspiration, movement, nourishment, gratitude, forgiveness, and grace. These are all practices that we can use to become our own greatest healer. And I'm going to be sharing more about this in my book. But if you want to dive into those concepts, the earlier Daily Healing podcast episodes have meditations and lessons if you want to go, if you haven't listened to those yet. So just want to remind you that those tools are already out there for you. So today we're going to be combining the clarity anchor of gratitude to shift you out of that fear mindset and into this open heart space. And you can also do things like using forgiveness to clear emotional blocks around your clarity. And you can allow inspiration to connect you directly to your soul guidance. It's just that moment of awe when you're in nature or that type of thing, when you're just inspired in that moment. And you can use this anchoring practice at that time too. But remember that grounding calms your nervous system so your intuition can be heard clearly. So grounding is a really important healing practice, but just a being practice. And so experiment with 1 or 2 of these every day alongside the anchor and just watch what happens. See how you feel. Let me know too. If you want to send me a message on Instagram or send me an email, Britt@brittmykalian.com. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so now I'd love to share a few ways that you can continue this work if that calls to you. If you haven't already, make sure that you're subscribed at brittmykalian.art so that you can receive free monthly remote healing, Reiki healing from me at 11:11 a.m. Pacific time. I send that to all of my subscribers every month. And you will receive Reiki healing. There's no Zoom or anything like that. I just invite you to either just receive as you're going about your day and know that at 11:11 you're going to be receiving healing, or you can actually sit and listen to a meditation or turn on some healing frequency music and just close your eyes and breathe and just know that you're receiving some unconditional love and universal life force energy. So if you are ready to build your frequency clarity toolbox, you can also check out the Quantum Manifestation Self-Study Program, which is a program that I offer on my website. And for the next couple of weeks, if you purchase that, you'll also get a channeling session from me. So that's a good thing to do, because in that process, in that program, I'm teaching you to tap into the wisdom of your soul through basically like a channeling exercise. And sometimes when you are doing this process, you doubt yourself. And so if you send me your questions that you're asking yourself in this program, I will answer the questions from a channeled state, and you can compare notes. When I do this in my one-on-one sessions with people, it lines up 100% of the time. So anyway, let's get into this activation now. Enough about me. Now let's get into this activation for you. So I invite you to sit in a chair or sit with your spine straight. You can also lay on the ground, but I invite you to put the soles of your feet on the earth and just visualize the energetic roots stretching down into the core of the earth and connecting and grounding you to the earth. And send any energy that's not aligned with your highest good down to the core of the earth to be transmuted into love and beneficial blessings for all, calling in from your crown chakra, through your crown chakra, highest divine light to fill in any gaps where energy was released with the highest of vibrations. And I invite you to inhale through your nose for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale through the mouth for a count of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just continue taking 2 more breaths like that. Inhaling to a count of 4 and exhaling to a count of 6 as you silently ask yourself, what frequency am I running right now? Just taking a temperature check on your frequency. And notice if you feel any tension in your body. Notice if there's any confusion or overthinking or heaviness. And just notice it as a witness, no judgment. And now gently ask your heart, what clarity do I need right now? You can hold a specific question in mind, or you can just keep it open and observe with compassion. There's nothing to fix. Just receive this wisdom as you breathe in and out of your heart space. What clarity do I need right now? And just taking a moment to allow that question to sit and notice if you see any colors or if you receive any messages. And just sitting peacefully, grounded, and breathing. And now I'd like you to again ask yourself silently, what frequency am I running now? Notice if there's been any shift. And if you have the art in front of you, I am wise, loving awareness is my guide. Softly open your eyes and bring your gaze to the painting. Allow the colors, the sacred materials, the Reiki energy, and the loving transmission to wash over you. Breathe it in. And imagine soft light flowing from the center of the painting directly into your heart and up through your third eye and crown. And as you do this, feel your heart gently opening and your connection to your soul strengthening. Repeat these affirmations 3 times, silently or out loud. I am wise. Loving awareness is my guide. I am wise. Loving awareness is my guide. I am wise. Loving awareness is my guide. And with each repetition, feel clarity downloading. Feel peaceful, embodied knowing, replacing any confusion or overwhelm. And allow this loving energy to wash through every cell of your body, every bone, every tissue, every fluid, every fascia, every cell, everything about you. And now place both hands over your heart and take one final deep breath as you smile softly and say thank you. I am clear. I am guided by my heart and soul. My heart and soul know the way. And just check in with yourself right now as we release this activation and just notice how your body feels. Do you have a deeper sense of peace? Did you get an answer that you weren't expecting? I invite you to stay open to connecting with your heart in this way throughout the day, actually throughout the next 7 days, and to carry this practice with you. So if you have this image of I am wise, loving awareness as my guide, just set a reminder maybe to check in with it several times a day, or before you have a meeting, just make it sort of a little ritual that you check in and then you go into your heart space and just take a couple deep breaths and ask, what do I need clarity with right now from my heart? And just allow this to be a practice that you give to yourself every day. And I just want to share something related to this. Last night I discovered the work of Charlie Goldsmith, the healer. I know I'm probably a little late to the game in finding out about his work, but I don't watch TV, so I never knew there was a TV show called The Healer, that it existed, because I would have been watching it. Apparently it's been around for a while. Anyway, Charlie is a very gifted healer, And people really get results from his work. But also, he talks about emotions and how important it is that we feel them. And feelings are there to be felt. And we spend so much time in our lives avoiding these feelings. And maybe that's a big reason why we all feel so tired, right? Or maybe why some of us get sick, because we're, scrolling on our phones or on our iPad. If you're me, I don't have a phone that I can scroll on. Or, you're grabbing the ice cream or having a drink, alcohol, or taking some pills to kind of take the edge off so that you don't feel things. And maybe when you prevent yourself from feeling those feelings that your body is feeling, like I was talking about earlier, that I felt anger and I noticed it. And when you name that feeling, you're honoring, because those feelings are messages from your body. They're from your soul, but your soul speaks to you also through your body. And so it's just about tuning in and feeling that emotion, because that's why we have them. We have feelings to feel them, and then we're honoring the wisdom of our body. And then you let them go. You don't hold on to them. You say, yes, thank you. Thank you for that feeling. I'm receiving that. Is there a message in that feeling? And then you let it go. So anyway, Charlie didn't use exactly that process, but I just thought it was really interesting listening to him talk. And he's a healer, so he was talking specifically about how important these feelings are. And he wrote a book. I haven't read it yet, but I did just order it and I got it. It's called Human Medicine: The Lost Manual for Your Emotions. And I'll let you know how it goes in the next episode. I'll let you know if there were any big aha moments. But when you allow the feelings that your body is and your soul are calling into your awareness, you're accepting all the parts of yourself. And if you want to accept all the parts of yourself, you want other people to accept you, then you have to accept yourself. And that acceptance is love. And it is a very important part of being human, is to feel all these feelings. So anyway, this is your new foundational practice that we just went through. We combined breath and body awareness and visualization with my frequency art piece, I Am Wise, Loving Awareness, as my guide. And that name and the loving awareness is an homage to the wisdom of Ram Dass. If you don't know about him, I highly recommend looking into his work as well. He's very inspirational. And this piece supports intuitive wisdom, heart-centered awareness, and soul guidance, which is exactly what we need for true clarity. So I thank you so much for joining me in this practice. I hope that this inspires you. And I'm so excited also, by the way, I forgot to announce that I just launched a new series of frequency art prints called the Blue Moon series that I created during the Blue Moon. And those are available on my website now. They're limited edition, so you can potentially get a piece for each one of your chakras if you want to be extremely balanced. And you can meditate with those every single day. Or if there's a certain chakra that you have a block in, you can just choose that and that piece, and it will help you if you meditate with it, or if you just have it in your presence. And the thing is these prints and also the digital reproductions of my work, they all transmit healing frequencies, just like my original artwork. So no matter what, if you're viewing my work on Instagram, if you're looking at a video on YouTube or through my podcast or anything else, you're receiving healing whether you realize it or not. And if you're a skeptic, I welcome skeptics as well, because the thing is just the thought of the intention behind the artwork is bringing that frequency into your awareness, which is then affecting your frequency in a positive light. So you can scientifically refute all you want that you don't think that piece of artwork is transmitting healing. However, when you know that is the intention behind it, it's already bringing that awareness into your field. So I don't know, if you want to send me some messages on Instagram or through my website, or email me and just let me know what you think about that. There have been studies that have proven that artwork, just viewing any artwork, causes healing and helps with nervous system regulation. And there have also been studies that have proven that Reiki is more effective than a placebo. So If there was any other medication, that would be proving its efficacy. So I'm not a doctor and I am not a medical professional. So I'm not saying that I'm going to heal all of your, whatever's going on in your body. But I am saying that energetically speaking, that my artwork is definitely transmitting healing no matter what. And your frequency is your power. So when you master it for the heart and soul-centered clarity that we just went through today, your path forward lights up from within. You don't need any answers from outside of yourself when you learn how to tune inward and master your frequency through this heart-centered practice and through just being aware of the feelings that are coming through you and the frequency that you're at right now. You're operating in a completely different world or a completely different way than 99% of the people in the world. So it really gives you your power back. Remember the heart and soul clarity anchor we just did together. I would love to have you commit to doing this practice for the next 7 days to notice what shifts within you. And I'd love to hear about your experiences again. So thank you so much for joining me today on the Daily Healing Podcast. All the links are going to be in the show notes below. And in the next episode, we're going to dive even deeper into frequency mastery and give you another activation. And we'll explore another piece of artwork so that you can meditate with that and connect with that for just a moment. And until next time, keep raising your frequency, one breath, one practice, one clear moment at a time. I'm sending you so much love and healing now. Have a beautiful day. Take care.